You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph, and I'm back with another prospect interview. I'm so happy to announce this one. This one's very exciting for me. I'm joined by Pitt defensive end Habakkuk Baldonado. How's it going today?
It's great. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming on. I know it's a busy time. All you guys watching, make sure you hit that like button, show your support. We're going to get right into it. First, Haba, obviously, I feel like, you've had a lot of interviews through all this time, both from teams, and I'm sure, you hopping on other podcasts here and there. I'm sure you're getting a lot of the same questions, including those having to do with your background and coming from Italy and all that. I'm not going to ask you to explain your life story. I'll just ask, because I didn't even know that Italy had its own Italian football league. I thought that was really cool. How did that your introduction to football come about?
I mean, as you said, I've been asked the same questions a lot of time. I don't mind answering that. That's my story. That's where I come from. So I'm kind of proud of it, and I like to share with people. But yeah, Italy has its own league. We have our own championship. We have different divisions. And that's where That's where everything started. I didn't know that football was a thing in Italy either. Actually, I didn't know what American football was growing up. I didn't even know that it existed as a sport. Rugby is big in Italy, but by doing a little Googling, a little search, I found out about a sport, fell in love, and I started playing for this team in Rome, which was playing in the major league at the time. And after that, I fell in love with it. We also have national teams in Europe that play against each other. So
that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, because I know that NFL, they're trying to grow their footprint into Europe. What would it mean? I mean, clearly you're gonna go to the NFL. What is it gonna mean for you to kind of be the face of American football in Italy?
It means a lot. Part of doing all this is to show people back in Europe that it's possible, to try to push more kids to try to do it, get out of their comfort zone, come over to the U.S. and try to make it to the highest level. And at the end, I just want to try to bring the sport back to Italy and to Europe more generally, get more people involved in it, more funds if possible, and just let the sport grow because it's a beautiful sport. It can give you a lot of satisfactions, and I want more people to enjoy it.
Yeah, well, I definitely think you're going to be able to do that. And I know you spent your entire collegiate career at Pitt. What was it about Pitt that you felt made it the right fit for you?
There's not one single thing. I would say there's a whole bunch of reasons that just made it the right fit for me. First of all, the culture, the coaches, Coach Narduzzi and Coach Partridge. I knew they had a solid culture going on. I knew they were great coaches that were going to stay there for all my 5 years. I love the place, Pittsburgh, a city. I grew up in Rome, so I'm a city guy. I can't live in the country, but that's not really my thing. But my teammates, great people. The school at the beginning when I first started college, I was doing engineering, and that's one of the reasons why I came here to Pitt because they had a great engineering school. So it was all these little things, that build up and made me come to Pitt.
Well, I know Pitt definitely known for developing defensive linemen and having them ready for the NFL from day one. What's been something that, you mentioned your coach, defensive line coach, Charlie Partridge. What's something that he's taught you that you just know you're going to take with you and use at the next level? I'm sure there's several things, but what's the biggest thing that kind of sticks out at you?
I would say the biggest thing is how to approach the game and how to prepare for it. All the film stuff, how to prepare like a pro. The film study, all the behind the scenes, the hard working, how to get 1% better every day. Coach Narduzzi's at 3%, but I'm good with 1% because we stacking days. As long as you get better, that's all you need.
Exactly. So was there a year at Pitt where you felt like you really came into your own and the game really started to slow down for you? Those 1% started to kind of build up?
I would say my redshirt freshman year is when everything started making sense. And of course, my junior year was my breakthrough season. So I would say 21, everything was in line, and I was just ready for it. And I should, I, I showed what I was able to do.
Yeah, 21 was really crazy for you. You had 41 total tackles, 12 of them for loss, 9 sacks, forced fumble, fumble recovery. Um, and when I watch you, it's clear that you're very explosive off the line, which is impressive at your size, and you can convert speed to power well. You're also good at diagnosing plays and reacting to them. So you mentioned that one of the things that Coach Partridge instilled in you was the film study and preparation. What are some of the things that you look for in your opponent when it comes to film study?
I study a lot of film. It's not that common in college, I found out, but we as a D line unit, and then me myself as a single individual, we just dissect everything on the tape. From the formation that a team runs, their favorite plays, the down and distance, what they're running favorite plays, where their quarterback scrambles, their tackles, where they shoot their hands, like how they put their feet. So there's so many things that I study throughout the week before the game, and when game comes, it's just I'm ready. It's just there. As you said, one of my main features is that I know what is going to come before it comes because I really understand. I can't read the offense, and
Yeah.
so most of the times I can react way faster than by just guessing.
Right. No, it definitely goes a long way. And I know you pride yourself in your hand movement and your coordination as well. You got that martial arts background, so that definitely helps. Do you have a favorite hand move that you know you can always win with?
I would say the cross chop, which is like that little jumping thing that I do a lot. Uh, I don't know. I just learned that, and it felt natural for me, so I stuck with it. It works a lot of times, and people don't really stop it that much.
Like, yeah, that's good. That's good to have in your arsenal for sure. Um, I know you faced a lot of quarterbacks in your collegiate career. Was there one that was just like the biggest pain in the ass to go up against?
I would say uh, Drake May from UNC this year.
Hmm.
He was just I just couldn't get it for some reason. I couldn't take him down, and he did a great job throughout the whole game. He was escaping. He had really good pocket awareness, which is being a redshirt freshman. So I gave it to him at the end of the game. I told him he was a great player, um, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, always got to give credit where it's due. Among the NFL quarterbacks, everyone used to always say, I want to sack Tom Brady. I want to sack Tom Brady. Obviously, he's out of the league now, not an option. Is there a guy in the NFL today that you would especially love to get a sack on?
Um, to be honest, Kenny Pickett. I would love to sack him because I haven't been able to do it through my whole career. Because
Okay.
he was the red jersey, so he can't touch QB1. So now I'll finally be able to sack him.
I definitely love the honesty. We have one question in the comments here. How fun was it to play with Kalijah Cansey?
It was a blast. He's a great player, better person. He's a great teammate. We had that. I just needed to look at him, and we knew what we were gonna run, what we were supposed to do. So um, I love playing with him.
That's awesome. And what's this experience like being able to like go through this together? Because and both being defensive line guys, I'm sure it's pretty cool to be able to do that with one of your teammates.
Yeah, well, it was fun. We just bounced off each other. 2021 was my season. He had a good season. 2021 as well. 2022, he had a great season. Um, so we just fed off each other. He would put pressure on the quarterback, send it to me. I would sack him. I would send it to him, and he would sack him. And we've been together through the whole process. Actually, even at the combine, he was my roommate. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you about the combine. It happened earlier this month. You were there. I was there. I didn't get a chance to speak to you during the media availability, though. Those go by very quick.
Yeah.
But I saw you posted about it on your Instagram. You were actually a little down on yourself and how you did. Tell us a little bit about like what was going through your mind and why were you disappointed? I thought you did well.
I wasn't really down on myself, you know. I'm still proud of whatever I put on table, whatever I do. It was just more of a reflection moment, you know. I got to step out of everything of football. I just went to Florida, back to my host family, back where it all started, you know. And I was hanging out there, and I wasn't super happy about my performance that day because I knew I could have did better, you know. During training, I was doing better, and then for a whole bunch of reasons, Um, I didn't do as well as I expected to. So I kind of got into my own head for a little bit for that weekend. And then I just stepped out and I thought about all the people that do this. You know, they might be upset about a game because they didn't play as well or like something going wrong in their life. And I was like, you know what? You made it this far. So just be happy about it. And then you can fix whatever happened.
Yeah.
But my performance, it was a really solid performance. It was good in my opinion. I got a lot of positive feedback from the coaches. Just felt like I could have did better.
That's fair. I mean, I think that's a natural human reaction. And I know this time is very overwhelming. It's a busy time for you and all the other guys, excuse me, embarking on this journey. And there's not much time to reflect and think about anything else that's really going on. So how how are you kind of taking the time to soak it all in and like are you finding ways to do that now?
Yeah, every once in a while, you know, just by meditating or just stepping away, taking a walk, you know, thinking about what's going on, talking to my people, my family. Um, you always got to find some time to step away and reflect to even
Mhm.
improve, you know, to get better.
Yeah, I agree. Got to take care of the mentals. Uh, Look, I did see though that Pitt put out a list of participants for their pro day. It'll take place on the 29th of this month, and you were on that list. So I presume that you wanted to see if you can improve on some of those combine times. You plan to participate.
As I said, I felt like I could have did better, so I'm going to participate and do better.
All right, looking forward to it. And so, how has training been going for you so far? Have you been doing anything differently since the combine?
Not really. It's been great. I'm back in Pittsburgh right now, so I'm training here with all the other guys. Most of them are back as well. So, and we're training all together. And it's gonna be just smoother, you know. At the combine, we're there, uh, waking up early in the morning, going to sleep late
Yeah.
at night with all the meetings, all the pressure, like not that much food. But here it's just it's like a home game, you know. I'm I'm here at my place, sleeping in my bed on my time, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be a
absolutely.
different situation.
I imagine it is a lot different when you're in your comfort zone and you could probably perform a little bit better. Well, I know that pro day is going to be another opportunity to show scouts who you are. You also had the chance to do that at the Shrine Bowl and you showed out. One of the top performers out there. You had a tackle for loss, quarterback hit, a pass defended. PFF had you with the highest pass rush grade of the game with 91.7. And in practice, you had a 50% win rate. Like, that's insane. um, Tell me what that experience was like for you and like getting coached under Bill Belichick and that staff.
It was a great experience, as you said, getting coached by the Patriots, legendary Coach Belichick. It was it was hard to explain. You know, I tried to soak it all in, take as many new information as I could, learning as much as I could, not only from the coaching staff, but even from my teammates, you know, because they're all great D linemen, great DNs that have played the game for a long time and have made it to this point, you know. But yeah, I'm a ball player. I'm not a track athlete. So like what I do is play ball. I don't do run 100 meters or run 40-yard dash. So I just went there and showed out. That's what I've been doing every season. That's what I prepare for, and that's what I do, and what I will be doing at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, I know between the Shrine Bowl and the Combine, you've had a chance to meet with a lot of teams at this point. What's been their biggest feedback for you so far?
They like my game, but They think that I can still improve in a lot of things. My second move off of my pass rush, pad level sometimes when I play inside. So there are those minor details that you got to tighten up before going up to the big leagues. But overall, the feedback has been pretty positive, so I'm happy about it.
That's great. And look, I know you'd be happy to be drafted by any team, but just hypothetically, if the 49ers were to draft you, what would it mean to be able to play alongside guys like Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, now Javon Hargrave, learning under a defensive line coach like Chris Kosrick?
It would be a great opportunity, as you said, really experienced guy, great players, top of the league. I would try to learn as much as I can from them and help the team as much as I could. It would also be really fun and special because the host family that I went to back in Clearwater, they're huge San Francisco fans. That's where they're from, so they're huge 49ers fans. And they already told me they would be at every game and they would support me as much as they could. But
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, there's people in the comments here saying like, "Oh, let's draft him," So there's definitely some interest there. Nathan here in the comments asked, "Who's a player from the NFL that inspired you?"
I wouldn't say there's one single main player that inspired me. As a D lineman, I watch a lot Chandler Jones and his game, his pass rush. I try to simulate some of the stuff that he does. I believe he's a great player. And as generally defense, I used to be a huge fan of the Legion of Boom. Richard Sherman, Ken Chancellor, Earl Thomas. That's when I started watching football. That's when I became passionate about it. So yeah, those are the main people that I've been watching growing up.
Well, as 49er fans, we're just going to have to live with that answer. We don't love it. We're just going to have to accept it. The Legion of Boom.
Hey, that's how it started.
We can't hate. We can't hate. That's no, I totally get it. Those guys completely changed the game and how defenses are looked at today. So that's a great answer. Hind asked, did you play soccer in Italy at all?
I did. I grew up playing soccer. At one point in my life, I played soccer longer than football. But AS Roma, always and forever, That's my team. But yeah.
All right. Well, look, we'll get you out of here. We'll let you rest. I just have one last question for you. I always like to end my interviews with this one. What is a team, what is a fan base getting with Habakkuk Baldonado, both on and off the field?
They're getting both the person and the player. I'm a ball player. I'll give my 100% on the field. Study as much as I can, improving every day, as I said. Not taking plays off. And then off the field as a person, a great person, Everybody, all the people that know me love me. So that's what I have pride in. Just being a good person overall and dominating on the field.
Well, I've definitely seen it on the field. I'm getting the sense you are a great person through this interview. So I would definitely agree with that answer. Haba, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Again, I know this is a very busy time for you. So these last 18 minutes have been awesome getting to know you.
I appreciate you so much for having me.
And for everyone watching this, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. There will be more prospect interviews like this one. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, people. Peace.